You've landed some amazing contract opportunities, wowed audiences, and delivered amazing results. But you might be wondering, why aren't those clients reaching out to book you again? In this short video, I'm going to share with you the top 3 mistakes I see brilliant experts make that are costing them 6- and 7-figure contract opportunities. And I'm going to show you how to fix it so we can make sure that's not your story. You're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned to number 3 because this is the one that most people miss. Now, if you're new to me, I'm Kirsten Allen. I am a retired account executive working for Fortune 500 companies. I've sold over $16 million B2B, and I've also worked with entrepreneurs and experts just like you to turn their expertise into a corporate contract. Clients of mine have landed deals with brands like Louis Vuitton and have landed deals in as soon as 2 weeks using our systems and frameworks, and I'm going to break down a piece of that in today's video. So let's get into these 3 points. The first mistake that I often see is that experts don't ask the right questions from the start. Most people, when a company or organization reaches out to you for a particular topic, maybe they've seen you speak on a stage before, most people are like, cool, here's my rate, here's my contract, let's go. And what I encourage you to do is dial that conversation back a bit. Ask more questions as to why they're requesting the workshop, and that will help you understand what is the greater goal of this organization so you can begin to develop a package that solves their biggest problems rather than just the one. No company or organization wants you to just come in and talk about communication. There's a reason why they've decided that that was the solution, and you as the expert can ask some very targeted questions to uncover the why and develop an entire program, a series of workshops, licensing of materials that could solve the greater problem. An example of this is one of my past clients. She came to me with this exact problem. And the one thing that I was able to diagnose almost instantly is that though she had a lot of contacts, she was being more reactive rather than proactive in these relationships. So we made a slight tweak to her discovery call process to ask more questions like, as I mentioned, what caused you to want to seek this workshop? What's going on in the organization that determined that this was the need that you all wanted to focus on in this quarter? How does this fit into your overall plans? What are you measured on? When you ask these types of questions, you don't have to be the expert of their business. You just need to know the right ways to get them to give you the information. And when you get this right, then you can start to build longer term packages where they see you as a person that can do more than just a communications workshop. But you can come in and overhaul their entire process that they have in terms of training their managers and team members to work well and efficiently. Okay, so the next mistake that I often see is that experts don't gather enough measurable data to make the decision maker sell themselves into the next step with you. And I'm going to break down what this means. When it comes to corporate decision making, everything is based upon the data. So you can go in, you can get a lot of claps. They can tell you how much they enjoyed working with you. And then you kind of fall off the radar, right? Because they don't know what they need next. They don't know the value that you've presented beyond just a great talk or great engagement. So what you want to do here is in every type of engagement that you do, embed some way to get quantifiable feedback. That can be through surveys, that can be through pre and post consultations, that can be through capturing sentiment, things that were stated in the Zoom room or in person if you're doing a live talk. And that can also be doing interactive things like platforms like Slido or other tools that allow you to get polls throughout your talk so that you can continue to capture that engagement. And then you don't want to stop there. So that isn't just for you, it's for you to then give that information to the decision maker and show them, here is where your people were before. So it's important to do a pre-survey, and here is where they are now. You're never going to be able to solve all the problems with one talk, but you can certainly show measurable increase and position that as a way to continue the work so that they can actually see the true result. Companies are hip to the fact that they don't want just a rah talk in order to get their people excited. They want them to do something with it. So that's a huge advantage for you to use the data to show how much further you can go if they continue to work with you. Now, you want to make sure you have a time set before you even do your engagement to discuss these things. I did this with the client I just mentioned a moment ago, and what she did was embedded a Slido, which is a survey tool, into her talk slides that allowed her to gather that measurable data. Now, not only is that good with a current client, that is good with new clients as well. Being able to show real data on how you impacted an organization is always going to create repeat sales. All right, let's get into this final point, the one that I told you was the most important that people miss so often. And it is a simple switch that can change you from getting booked here and there to having consistent opportunities. And that is, most experts lack a true follow-up system. And they do this because, number one, maybe someone has reached out to you for a particular holiday. I know a lot of my clients get booked around Women's History Month, Black History Month, and all of these types of events, or maybe an annual sales conference that you always attend. And the only time they hear from these people is when those things are coming up. But one thing that I recommend doing is having a quarterly cadence with your past and existing clients. This gives them an opportunity to keep you in the loop and keep you top of mind as it relates to their conversations about budgets and things they are planning for the future. So here's how you can do this. You can create a newsletter. As you're doing talks with different organizations, showcase other ways that you engage and make impactful change inside of companies. That's something that makes them think, hey, I didn't know that she also talked about emotional intelligence. I didn't know she also talked about team building. And through that, when they're asking who can support those things, you come to mind, not just as the person who came in Women's History Month that one time, but a true expert and thought leader in your space that can dominate and help impact their needs cross-departmentally, as well as at the organization as a whole. So you want to make sure you have those key points in place where you and your team can follow up with your existing clients, engage them with a newsletter, just check in on them and see how things are going with their priorities, or invite them to book you for something else that you're doing, whether it might be licensing something, an assessment, maybe you've launched a new book. But keeping these folks engaged through having this follow-up system is what's going to create repeat opportunities for you and create those long-term contracts. And if you're ready to stop leaving 6- and 7-figure opportunities on the table, do not miss taking our brand new assessment. It's going to be the greatest 5 minutes that you will spend today. Based on your unique responses, you will get a full report diagnosing which areas are gaps for you and giving you customized strategic advice on how to fill those gaps right now so you and your team can never miss an opportunity again. All right, so I cannot wait to see your assessment so that we can continue supporting you in this space, and I will see you on the next video.